What's going on, guys? Back at you with another video as a follow-up to yesterday. So we're still going to be talking about this bear flag that everyone should be paying attention to, regardless if you're a bull or a bear. So talked about this yesterday. Very important pattern here because, like I said, the bears are trapped from my last video because the bears try to break down from this pattern. Bear flag usually breaks down, right? The bears try to push this price action down, was unsuccessful on this daily candle here, March 18th, right? Price action breaks back into the pattern, which means that the bulls just bought this price action back up and now it's back into the pattern. Very important now that the bulls actually break out of this, right? The trend line here is going to be, today is going to be 89.4 thousand. We do have the daily 50 SMA coming up, right? That is going to be at around 90.1 right now. So that is going to be resistance that's coming into the top headline trend line there. So very important to be paying attention to this pattern right now. So how am I playing this? Right? I am neither a perma bull or perma bear, right? I really look into the situation and I look to profit both long term and short term. Okay. So one of the ways I played this yesterday, right, was I do have a bag in altcoins that I am long on. However, it was coming into this top trend line here, right? Yesterday at around, at these are hourly candles just right here. If you guys have trading view, you guys would see this, right? So when it actually came into around about 88.5 ish, I did take a short position somewhere in about 88,000. Now, how I see it is just because I am bullish, I'm still bullish on the longer term, right? As of right now, because my standpoint could change depending on how the chart changes, right? So, how I really saw it was I took it as a hedge, okay? I took a small short position because I still got to make a daily living, right? Took a small short position, and how I see it was if the price action actually breaks this top trend line here, which I thought we were pretty close to it, I will still get a net gain from my most of my portfolio being in longs, right? And if it doesn't, then it's really just insurance and I can make some change for the day, right? So that's how I saw it, and I did take a small profit out of that. Basically got into Bitcoin around 88,000. It was like a less than 1% profit, but hey, I mean, I'm gonna take it, right? So that's kind of how I'm profiting from consolidation ranges like this, right? So that's how I'm seeing it, and I basically bought back in to another leverage position last night and got in and out for a small profit as well. So right now, very important is to be paying attention to this pattern here. Like I said, if the bulls actually are able to get a daily candle close breakout above this bear flag, that is very significant because you're basically breaking a bearish pattern in a bullish way. So that's a pretty big statement. Now we could take a look into some smaller time frames here and see if we can get a good read on if this price action is likely to break or not. Right. So let's come to the 12-hour. Well, actually, let's come back to the daily time frame here. So I don't see any bearish divergence on this daily time frame. If we actually compare this high right here with the previous high, we see that the RSI is already higher, so that's not bearish divergence. Usually, when I see bearish divergence in a bear flag, that is more of a telltale sign that it's gonna break to the downside, but I'm not seeing it here. Right, so that's a good sign. Right, so come to 12-hour, I still don't really see bearish divergence here. Now, we have this high right here comparing to this high, but it's still higher. So still looking good for the bulls at the moment. And we have about 8 more hours on this 12-hour candle, and it looks like it could make a higher high again on the RSI. So at least in terms of the RSI, it's looking pretty good, right? Come to the shorter time frame. I think the shorter time frame might pose a little bit more of a challenge because we have the 6 hour RSI right here. We have a pretty high reading, so chances are, if it actually, eh, you know, I, I'm just gonna say, my opinion, right? It's pure speculation and not financial advice. When I see a RSI reading that high, it's probably not gonna beat it on the first on the attempt afterwards, right? So on this attempt to break this resistance, very important to be paying attention to the RSI reading here, because if you get a lower high on the RSI, then there's going to be a pullback, right? Most likely. 4 hour, very much the same. It's been very overbought, so chances are, you might make a higher high on the price action chart, but you're going to get a lower high on the RSI, and that tells me it's more likely it's going to be a pullback. It's not absolute, right? I've seen it just keep going, but what are the chances of that, right? But, I just like to speak in terms of probabilities. Now, that's basically how I'm seeing this. Like I said, it's very important for the bulls to actually break out of this bear flag. And then I mentioned yesterday that, it's very likely the bulls are going to come back here. The price action is going to come back here to retest this level, the weekly 21 SMA, because for the past couple of weeks, price action just broke completely down without a retest. From experience, in the past almost 5 years of trading for me. Or more than 5 years of trading for me, losing count. But from experience, I don't really see, Bitcoin going straight down and not coming back for a retest, even if the price action is to continue lower. Okay, so that's basically the next level I'm looking at. If price action is actually breaking out of this, can actually break out of the bear flag, right? Now, like I said, I do have altcoins. I do have a lot of longs in altcoins, right? So if I do see, some altcoins pumping, right, and we're still at this resistance, and if it pumps to a extent, right, like I'm just gonna throw out my random number, like 50% on some of these smaller altcoins, and I've definitely seen that happen, right, in the past couple of months. Then I'm most likely going to be taking profits, and because we're going to be hitting resistance here, and it's not absolute that we're going to break out of here, right? Just got to be realistic here, and then I got to protect my profits. I got to take profits, and probably going to buy back lower when we hit a support that looks like it's going to bounce, right? But right now, I think we're looking pretty good because we're above the daily SMA, which is the orange line. We're above the daily 21 SMA, which is the blue line. So, we have broken down below that, but now we have reclaimed that very important level. If we actually come to the S&P 500 mini futures, which is also what I follow for correlation, right? It's very highly correlated with Bitcoin. It looks like it has reclaimed the daily 200 SMA as well. So very important to be paying attention to this chart as well. Because, like I said, very high correlation, right? Now, these are purely my speculations. Of course, not financial advice, right? I could be completely wrong, and my opinion could change very quickly depending on how fast the chart could change. Now, that basically sums up for what I'm going to be talking about today. Please do drop a like, subscribe. If you guys do want to sign up for Webull, I think they're still giving away free stocks. Do check it out in my link below. I will also make a small bonus if you guys sign up using my affiliate link. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time.